Thank you for joining, Jackie. A few little technical difficulties there, but we figured it out. So
hello, everyone. Thank you for having me today, Shannon. I'm so excited to tap with your community and get to know everyone a little bit more. This is really special. Thanks for having me.
Well, it's always a treat. EFT tapping, I mean, I can't imagine where things would have gone in 2020 if I hadn't come across this tool for relieving anxiety. So yeah.
I always say it found me at my worst and brought me to my best. And so I'm so grateful you've said yes to this work and that you're helping moms, because obviously that's a big part of my journey and my community as well. And I know that right now moms are facing a lot of uncertainty, and they're doing the best that they can with their kids, right? And what the world's circumstances are. So hopefully today we can bring some relief to them.
Yeah, especially at least here in British Columbia, you know, we had an extended Christmas break, but now everybody's heading back out there. And I know it's been a lot of busy thoughts happening for moms. Yeah.
Yeah. So is that what we should tap on today? Maybe like a little bit about the feelings that are coming up, and what else did you want to cover? A little bit more about tapping, or what do you feel like going over?
Yeah, if you want to give a little more explanation, I know you've got a free training coming up, but a little taste of what you do and how, because your style of tapping is different. It's very unique. And yeah, I'd love to have you explain it a little bit more.
Sure. Yeah. So tapping is traditionally a trauma healing technique, and it is really powerful for healing the past, for overcoming emotions that feel really strong or overwhelming, and educating us on the power of our emotions. And so what I did is I took tapping. I've done it for 10 years now, and watched it transform my life and many others over and over again. And I realized that it's not just a tool for healing, but a tool for creating the life that you want as well. And, you know, more and more we're learning about how our thoughts create our reality, and how we have an energy system. And so tapping has taught me that over the years. And I started to intentionally use it to create what I wanted with my life, not just to heal what had happened to me. So tapping is a self-help tool that is at everybody's fingertips, and it has the power to disrupt any negative cycle that you're in. So if you're in a state of self-talk that is negative, that is, I'm not enough, I'm exhausted, I'm never going to catch up, whatever it might be, tapping is used as a disruptor. So it helps you acknowledge that that's what's going on and accept it, and then give you the power to choose a new direction, a new thought, a new feeling. So yeah, it's a self-help tool. It's at everyone's fingertips. When we tap, we're tapping on acupuncture meridians. So these are on the face and the body. And I think of them as like the highway system of the body. And if we are under stress, if we are dehydrated, if we are in a more negative space, that highway system isn't running very efficiently. And so when we're tapping, we're clearing that. We're clearing any blockages in our energy system. We're also working with the subconscious brain. So if you have any limiting beliefs, tapping will reveal them quite quickly. And not just eliminate them, but help you build new ones. So we'll have an experience today, but it's just this really incredible, diverse tool that anybody can use anywhere. And my real mission is to educate people on it and empower them to use it, so that when you're in situations that feel uncomfortable, or you feel stuck, or you feel like you're not enough, that there's something you can do about it. And that's tap.
Yeah. It's been amazing in my household, because we really talk a lot about growth mindset as well. And I think that's something that's taught for kids, but we need to remember as adults that we are also, our brains are malleable. We don't need to stay the same, you know? And so retraining your brain is such a powerful tool. Yeah.
It is so cool because it invites you to challenge what you believe and what you've been thinking, right? Because a belief is a thought you just keep thinking. And so when you're tapping, you start to hear out loud some of the things that you've been saying to yourself. And you're like, I didn't even realize that I believed that, you know? And I love that you said that. Yeah, growth mindset. It allows you to not just eliminate limiting beliefs, but build new ones. And so for today's class, I'm thinking like, what new beliefs need to be built for moms right now? It's probably a belief that their children are going to be okay and that they're going to be okay. Beliefs that what we've done as moms is enough. And maybe releasing the control, like releasing the need to be in control of every aspect of our children's lives, you know, because we love not the best.
Yeah. I think because we want to make sure our kids are okay all the time, but that's actually not why we are here as moms. We are here to send them out and to let them, you know, find their own way and make their own mistakes. And yeah.
And I know you practice numerology as well. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And when I first started learning tapping, I came across Louise Hay's book, You Can Heal Your Life. And I think that's like the original self-help book that lots of us start with. Yeah. And I remember I was going through this moment of a fear of anything happening to my daughter because I had a lot of death and loss at the same time she was born. So I was afraid of her dying. Honestly, that was like my biggest fear. And at the time, I lived up on the mountain and her dad lived downtown, and in Revelstoke, there's a dam. And I had all these crazy fears that the dam would break and that I wouldn't be there with her, which sounds, you know, illogical, but to a mom, like that's literally what was going on in my mind. And I had a healer give me Louise Hay's book, and she told me, you know, our children are on their own path, just as you are. And no matter how much you try to control, there are certain lessons they came to learn. There are certain contracts that they have. There's certain, like, I think of that with her dad. Like, there's certain contracts that she has with her dad that is nothing to do with me. And that was like a moment where I was like, you get to choose, Jackie, how you go out about the rest of your life being a mom. Is it trying to control and be a helicopter mom every aspect of her life, or believe that I can build a child that is resilient and smart and independent, and that I can trust her to trust herself to make the right decision? So I fully know this and feel this because I've walked it. But I think today, if we can tap into that, knowing that everything we've done as moms is enough, and that our children are smart, and we need to empower them and believe in that too.
And also give them the space to try and to make mistakes. Like,
absolutely.
Yeah. Whether they, you know, whatever decisions they make is not an impact on our value as a mom.
Whatever decisions my child make is not an impact on my value as a mom. Oof, that's big.
Big stuff. Okay. I know I'm giving you a lot to work with here, but
okay.
Yeah.
So let's tap, shall we?
Yeah.
Today, I don't know if anyone's with us. I can't see any comments, but say hello if you guys are here, because I'd love to.
I see one heart, one eyeball, but I know there's a few people who are like, I want to watch the replay too. So
say hi when you're here, whether it's live or on the replay. So let's tap on like letting go of control around our kids. Does that sound good?
Mm-hmm.
Trusting that we can send them out into the world and that they're going to be okay. Trusting in them to make their own decisions. And what does that bring up for us? So when I think about like letting go and sending my child off to school, or letting go and letting my child make their own decisions, what comes up in me? And so, Shannon, do you want to be my kind of echo today? What comes up in you when you think about letting go in your body? Do you feel any response?
I think there's fear that, I guess there's fear that they could get hurt in some way if I'm not there to kind of guide every step. you know.
So that feeling like I have to be there to guide every step and I have to protect them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Where do you feel that fear in your body?
Yeah, that's actually coming up in my throat.
Okay.
Yeah.
And high on a scale of 0 to 10 is that fear in your throat?
Probably between a 6 and a 7.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's
So
not super strong, but still, yeah.
okay. So for everyone following along, the same goes for you. So when I think about like letting my child go out into the world, how high is my fear on a scale of 0 to 10? And where is that fear in my body? So just take a moment to tune in, figure out where that is in your body, how high it is. And then and just finishing the sentence, I'm afraid that. So Shannon, how would you finish that sentence?
I'm afraid that they will. I think, yeah, I'm afraid that they will get hurt.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's start tapping. And those of you that haven't tapped before, you're just going to, it's like Simon says, you're going to say what I say and do what I do. And I'm going to tap and say something. And then you and Shannon are going to tap and copy me. So we'll start by tapping right on the side of the hand. Take a nice deep breath. And say, especially because I love my kids so much.
Especially because I love my kids so much.
I have this fear of something happening to them.
I have this fear of something happening to them.
I can feel it in my body.
I can feel it in my body.
And I'm going to say for you, Shannon, I can feel it in my throat.
I can feel it in my throat.
And I love and accept myself anyway.
And I love and accept myself anyway.
Especially because I love my kids so much.
Especially because I love my kids so much.
I carry around this fear of something happening to them.
I carry around this fear of something happening to them.
I can feel it in my throat.
I can feel it in my throat.
And I love and accept myself anyway.
And I love and accept myself anyway.
Especially because I love my kids so much.
Especially because I love my kids so much.
As their mom, I carry around this fear.
As their mom, I carry around this fear.
This fear of them getting hurt.
This fear of them getting hurt.
I can feel it in my body.
I can feel it in my body.
And I love and accept myself anyway.
And I love and accept myself anyway.
Good job. We're going to go tapping on the top of the head and say, I am afraid of something happening to my kids.
I am afraid of something happening to my kids.
Eyebrow point. I'm afraid of them getting hurt.
I'm afraid of them getting hurt.
Side of the eye. I'm afraid of what they'll be exposed to.
I'm afraid of what they'll be exposed to.
Underneath the eye. I can feel this fear in my body.
I can feel this fear in my body.
Underneath the nose. This fear I carry for my kids.
This fear I carry for my kids.
Underneath the mouth. I'm afraid that they're going to get hurt.
I'm afraid that they're going to get hurt.
Collarbone point. I'm afraid they'll be misunderstood.
I'm afraid they'll be misunderstood.
Underneath the arms. I'm afraid of them being disrespected.
I'm afraid of them being disrespected.
Tapping underneath the chest. I'm afraid of them being exposed to things that they don't need to be exposed to.
I'm afraid of them being exposed to things that they don't need to be exposed to.
Tapping on the wrist. This fear I carry for my kids.
This fear I carry for my kids.
Top of the head. This fear I carry for my kids as their mom.
This fear I carry for my kids as their mom.
Eyebrow point. I can feel that I hold on to it in my body.
I can feel that I hold on to it in my body.
Side of the eye. And I wonder if I could begin to let it go.
I wonder if I can begin to let it go.
Underneath that, I wonder if I could care for my kids.
I wonder if I could care for my kids.
Underneath the nose without gripping to fear in my body.
Without gripping to fear in my body.
Tapping underneath the mouth. I'm open to letting this fear go.
I'm open to letting this fear go.
So take a deep breath. So you're probably becoming a little more aware that, like, dang, I do carry fear in my body for my kids. Like, that's an act of love, but it's not maybe the healthiest thing for our bodies, because we carry fear in our bodies that can create things like disease. So just notice now, Shannon, has your number shifted at all? That feeling in your throat, has it moved, changed at all?
Yeah, the tension has released, and I actually felt like a release kind of through my shoulders and my upper arms at the same time, of like that kind of softening. So yeah.
Moving, that's energy moving, right? Our nervous system calming down, because it's like you're hearing the message I've been carrying for you, right? So our bodies are carrying messages of like, I'm worried about my kids. And tapping is this mechanism that helps us acknowledge and release that, accept that it's there.
Yeah, and you nailed it when you started talking about, their feelings and them being misunderstood. Like, that was exactly what I was like, wanting to kind of be able to coach them through every moment.
Yeah, I want to coach them through every moment. That's an important line. I think that for anyone listening, if you're still feeling that fear, speaking what it's about, like Shannon just said, like fear of them being misunderstood. Like, I'm afraid my kids will be misunderstood, or I'm afraid my kids, one of my fears will be bullied. My daughter's really sensitive. I'm afraid my kids will be bullied. I'm afraid my kids will be, forced to do things they don't want to do. Whatever it might be. What is it for you? What are you afraid of for your kids? Like, tap and say it out loud, and that will really release the fear that's in the body. So I think for me, it's like, I am sometimes worried about the side effects of my daughter going home to home. Like, she shares time with me and her dad. And it's like, that's sometimes a fear that I carry. So that would be my example. Yeah. Let's tap again. What number would you say your throat is now?
Probably a 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So for everyone listening, do the same. Where in my body was I holding it? What number is it now? We're going to tap again on the side of the hand and say, especially because I love my kids so much.
Especially because I love my kids so much.
I want to be there for everything.
I want to be there for everything.
I want to coach them through everything.
I want to coach them through everything.
And I love and accept myself anyway.
And I love and accept myself anyway.
Especially because I love them.
Especially because I love them.
And I know them so well.
And I know them so well.
I want to be there for them for everything.
I want to be there for them for everything.
And I love myself anyway.
And I love myself anyway.
Even though I know I can't.
Even though I know I can't.
I can't be there for everything.
I can't be there for everything.
I really want to.
I really want to.
And I love myself anyway.
And I love myself anyway.
Top of the head. I want to be there for every little thing.
I want to be there for every little thing.
Eyebrow point. I want to be there to coach my kids.
I want to be there to coach my kids.
Side of that, I want to be there to protect my kids.
I want to be there to protect my kids.
Underneath that, I want to protect my kids from the world.
I want to protect my kids from the world.
Underneath the nose, I want to coach them.
I want to coach them.
Underneath the mouth, I want to protect them.
I want to protect them.
Collarbone point. And why is that?
And why is that?
Underneath the arms, do I believe they are capable?
Do I believe they are capable?
Underneath the chest, of navigating the world too.
of navigating the world too.
Tapping on the wrist. I don't know.
I don't know.
The world can be a pretty dark place.
The world can be a pretty dark place.
Eyebrow point. I could choose to believe that my kids can't navigate it.
I can choose to believe that my kids can't navigate it.
Side of that. Or I could choose to believe that they can.
Or I can choose to believe that they can.
Underneath that, maybe my kids are stronger than I think.
Maybe my kids are stronger than I think.
Underneath the nose, maybe my kids are strong and resilient.
Maybe my kids are strong and resilient.
Underneath the mouth, but I like to think that they need me.
But I like to think that they need me.
Collarbone point. Maybe they can have both.
Maybe they can have both.
Underneath the arms, maybe I can be there to coach them sometimes.
Maybe I can be there to coach them sometimes.
Underneath the chest, and maybe I can believe that they are strong and resilient too.
And maybe I can believe that they are strong and resilient too.
Okay, so take a deep breath. All right, so what's coming up for you now, Shannon?
There was a little surge when you, I want to protect my children from the world. Like, yeah, that's so true. But also I do, it came down because I do trust them. Like they are smart kids and they've been listening to me. Like I know they've been listening and yeah.
Okay, so let's do one more round. I just got an alert that my computer might die. So I was like, I need to plug in my charger. But I'm like, let's do one more round. And I think you can make it through. So let's tap again on the side of the hand.
Okay.
It's a calm thing, right? You're like, my battery's going to die. So tap on the side of the hand and say, even though I want to protect my kids from the world.
Even though I want to protect my kids from the world.
The truth is they're going to have their own challenges.
The truth is they're going to have their own challenges.
The truth is I can't protect them every time.
The truth is I can't protect them every time.
But I'm willing to believe.
But I'm willing to believe.
In my kids now.
In my kids now.
Even though this is challenging for me.
Even though this is challenging for me.
I love myself anyway.
I love myself anyway.
And I'm willing to believe.
And I'm willing to believe.
That my children are capable and competent.
That my children are capable and confident.
And that, that they can get through this too.
They can get through this too.
Even though I want to protect them from the world.
Even though I want to protect them from the world.
I also want to empower them.
I also want to empower them.
Maybe I can do a bit of both.
Maybe I can do a bit of both.
Top of the head. I can do everything in my power to protect them.
I can do everything in my power to protect them.
Eyebrow point and empower them.
And empower them.
Side of the eye. I'm choosing to empower my kids.
I'm choosing to empower my kids.
Underneath the eye. I can educate them about the world.
I can educate them about the world.
Underneath the nose. And more importantly, about themselves.
And more importantly, about themselves.
Underneath the mouth. My children are brilliant.
My children are brilliant.
Collarbone point. They are tuned in.
They are tuned in.
Underneath the arms. They are smart.
They are smart.
Underneath the chest. I'd like to begin trusting.
I'd like to begin trusting.
Wrist point. In their ability now.
In their ability now.
Top of the head. To navigate life.
To navigate life.
Eyebrow point. In their own unique way.
In their own unique way.
Side of the eye. Maybe my children are going to be okay.
Maybe my children are going to be okay.
Underneath the eye. Maybe things are going to be better than I thought.
Maybe things are going to be better than I thought.
Underneath the nose. Maybe they've got this.
Maybe they've got this.
Underneath the mouth. And together we're going to be okay.
And together we're going to be okay.
All right.
Awesome.
Does that feel like a shift?
Yeah. Yeah. Just my brain was like, you know, they're going to do it their own way. Even if no matter how much coaching I do, because they are their own people. And I mean, we talked about numerology a little bit there, that my habits and my strengths are completely different from theirs. So I can teach them what I know, but I can't expect them. They're not little clones of me.
No. And yeah, like you said, they're going to do it their own way. And what a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what a cool thing. My kids are going to do it their own way. And what a gift that is. I think as moms, that's what we've learned too. Like, I am not the Pinterest perfect mom with the perfect lunches. I have my own way. My way is dancing with my daughter and the laundry needs to be done, right? Like, we have our own way of parenting. Our children have our own way of being in the world, and we can empower them. And like you said, coach them, give them the tools, but really give them the belief that they have got this, that they are smart, and that we believe in them.
Yeah, I think there's an old belief there that came from my parents, that different is scary and dangerous. And, you know, they tried to keep me and my siblings kind of always the same and safe. And I'm like, my kids are like not, yeah, they're very expressive, and that's good. Like, it's good to have that.
Yeah.
We can't all be the same. Yeah.
So this is the cool thing that I just want to bring out that Shannon can do, is you can identify that this is actually something in you. So your relationship with being different is what really wants to be healed here. So if we were in a session, we would go into that. Like, what is my fear of being different? Your kids are actually great teachers for you, right? They're like, yeah, we're so different and we love it. And you're like, oh, it makes me have all these feelings come up from my childhood. Yeah. So this has been really special because this shows how diverse and dynamic tapping is. Like, it can really unlock some huge parts of ourselves that are ready for healing. And this was just a really important topic. Thank you for tapping on this today with me, Shannon.
Well, thank you. I always love tapping with you, Jackie.
Oh, I needed it too. So mom tapping, I love it.
Yeah. So you have your big thing happening in a few weeks, right?
Yes. I'm like, everybody come. It's going to be so much fun. So starting on January 24th to 27th, I'm doing a 4-day free tapping experience. And we're going to go over, I'm bringing in some different experts, some different parts of my team. We're going to talk about the science of tapping, how and why it works. We're going to tap on releasing stress from the body. So how tapping works with the body. It's one of my favorite topics. We're going to talk about tapping to manifest and create the life that you want. So I've used tapping for 10 years to release and receive. And we're going to start to set some goals for you personally over the next year. Use tapping to get you there. And then we're going to talk about the business of tapping. And I've got some really great experts this year that are new to the community that I think you guys are going to love, around how to bring tapping to the masses, how to bring it into podcasts, bring it into coaching other people, bring it into retreats, either add it to what you're doing or create a business out of it. So it's 4 days of fun, and it's going to be packed full of value. It's at 1 hour each day. If you can't make it live, there's replays available. The replays will be up for a week. We got prizes, so go sign up. Shannon has her special link. And let me know once you're there. Send me a message if you have any questions about it. I love to hear from you guys and this community.
Awesome. I'm just trying to find my link to put it in here again.
Thanks.
Yay. Every time I do this with you, I get something new. And I'm going to have to go think about what I just worked through this morning. And I always feel a little bit dozy after tapping too, because you've just worked, you've released the stress, right? So it's such a good feeling.
And opened your mind, right? Like opened up to a new possibility for a new belief to come in. So it's like a great time to rest, recalibrate, and contemplate, like, what do I want to believe about my children? What do I want to believe about them in the world?
Yeah. And myself, like it's actually safe for me to be different. Yeah.
And I am safe in the world. Do I believe that I am safe in the world? Yeah.
Exactly as I am.
Well, this
good stuff.
I think I'm hopefully you guys can still hear me. Thank you, Shannon. Thank you everyone who tapped with us today. Feel free to send me a message, comment what came up for you in this session. And thank you, Shannon. I love you so much. We'll see you in a few weeks.
Yes, thank you. Bye.